YouTube, this is Mewtwo742 coming you with another video here on Newteddyera's channel. I'd like to thank him very much for allowing me to be on his channel to showcase my Harpie deck profile of 2014. I've been going through many updates of this deck, and of course Harpies have been doing so much this format. I mean, despite the major fact that some people just don't run certain decks that I actually do run, well, you'll see what is so different about my deck than everyone else's. Although everybody doesn't deck each other. Everyone should already know that. So, let's get into this deck profile. First of all, I have two Harpie's Pet Dragon. Now, some Harpie players only usually tend to run one, but the fact is you can actually draw into your one Pet Dragon. If you do that, you can't go into your rank 7s unless you bring out Queen Dragoonjin. That's the only other way to get out Pet Dragon. I run 2 because if I draw into 1, I still have a chance to go into my rank 7s. Next we have 3 Harpie Queen, because she's your hunting ground searcher. She's also a 900 beater, and that's pretty much the main reason why you run Queen. She searches your mandatory field spot. 1 Thunder King. Now, a lot of decks do add to the hand like Spellbook and such, and there are a lot of decks that also specialize. I run this over Bang because playing Bang is just kind of a waste, especially since you have a lot of cards that are going to hit the graveyard. Thunder King is also a 900 beat stick, so it works pretty well, my deck. 1 Black Ring Zephyr because he pretty much helps recycle any face of cards on my side of the field that I don't really need. I need a Hysteric Party, and it's dead on the field, I'll recycle it. When it's fine and you can summon one, I'll recycle it, and so on. Of course, you're going to run 3 Harpie Champions. Now she's going to be the one that's going to be special summoning the Harpie monsters from your deck. This combo will Harpie's Pet Dragon because she becomes level 7 when there's a dragon step in your side. Now originally I was running Tempest in this build, but some Harpie players don't like to banish their Harpie keys. Like that's why I run Pet Dragon Tempest. Only problem is if you have Harpie Pet Phantasma Dragon on the field, she'll also become level 7, so that's be aware of that. And the Harpie Lady 1. Now, I used to have Cyber Harpie Lady and Harpie Lady. Now, some people don't see them as actual mix. I'm actually testing to see how it works. 3 Harpie Lady 1 is actually working very well for me right now. And I might just use it because, I mean, Cyber is an 1800 beat stick, but there are chances that your opponent's monster may be able to get over that. Despite the fact that Harpie Lady 1 gives 300 all-wing monsters. You have all 3 in the field, that's an instant plus that can really help you. 3 Harpie damage. Now, of course, it's a shame that the lovely drawing one in this spell I got into 1, but it doesn't matter because regardless, I'm still running this. Dancing is the main reason why Divine got into 1, and the reason why Birdman got into 1 because of that second program. Now, she also can get any one monster on your back right now, especially if I'm going to be Potter or Chin. And plus, she's a Harpie Lady. What do you expect? She's a summoner monster. Now, she's not a Harpie, but it comes with my Hysteric Sign. Now, if you don't know what the Hysteric Sign does, pretty much means that if card is behavior from your field or your hand, you get to add up to 3 Harpie cards with different names from your deck to your hand. Now, the only that I can use for Hysteric Sign is to search out Elegant Egotist, which I don't do. Now, the fact is I usually don't always search Elegant Egotist, but then again, that's why you run 3 Hysteric Sign, because you want to plus majorly as much as you can. And of course, that's it for Monster Lineup. Of course, Spell Lineup, I have 2 Elegant Egotists. Now, the reason why I run 2 is I want to draw into it, because of the fact of what I've explained before. I usually don't use Signs Effect to search for Egotists all the time. I usually just plus off of it. I'm going to want to draw into Elegant Egotist since I never search for it. Now, some players usually only run 1 Egotist, but the fact is running at 2 is also good. Of course, Book of Moon because it's a staple, 2 Forbidden Lands because it protects my monsters from anything that destroys them, such as Torrential Tribute, Bottomless. Also get to run those other monsters like pretty much anything that can just beat over me. So, and plus I can protect them. You know, safe zone, hysteric party, those types of cards that would actually destroy them. I can save them. Of course, the 3 hysteric sign, I've already explained why. 3 hunting ground. Now, you have 3 hunting ground for your 3 queens. Now, every time you're not going to be able to search out for hunting ground. Hunting ground is pretty much our MST of the deck. But the only problem about this is that it's mandatory. So there will be times where you have to pop hunting ground itself. But that's why you run 3, right? 1 divine with a Mist Valley. It combos well with Dancer. Pretty much when a 1 monster returns to the hand, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower wind type monster from your deck. Now, this is usually the card I usually go into to make my Phantasmal plays, especially if I don't have Ultimate Egotist out. And of course, Dark Hole and Mind Control, because they're also staples. Mind Control helps me because every deck is just about level 4 variant, and I'll just take my opponent's monster and XC something with it. Traps, I have 1 Bottomless, 1 Mirror Force, 2 Icarus. Now, 1 isn't enough, and 3 is too cloggy and dead drawly. So, 2 is perfectly enough since mostly every monster in this deck is Winged Beast. Also comes well with Ice Beast Zero Fine because she's also Winged Beast, so it works. 1 Torrential, of course, because it's that 1. Phoenix Fang 1 Blast. Now, this is another discarding target besides Summoner Monk and Hysteric Party to get assigned into the graveyard. And plus, it returns one of your opponent's cards to the top of the deck, or extra deck in this case. 1 Compulse, 3 Hysteric Sign. Now, a lot of Harpie players usually don't even run this at 3. But everyone's build is different. What do you expect? I run at 3 because it's easy to make a lot of Harpies. Especially if you have many of them in the graveyard. The only problem you'll have is if they have something that can stop it, like Necro Valley. But besides the point, you're going to need to get a lot of Harpies in grave, activate Hysteric Party, summon all of them, attack for game. And of course, Solemn Warning. For extra deck, I have 1 Draco Sack and Big Eye. I don't have 74 in here because Draco Sack and Big Eye are the main rank 7s you want to go into. 74 only protects itself from being targeted. There are a lot of cards out there that don't target now. So what's the point of going into it? Crazy Box is one of my newest techs. I mean, it has 6 different effects, and most of them are actually really, really risky. But it's also a 3,000 beater, so pretty much it's really hard to get over. Pappy and Black Ship, because of course they're both 2100 beaters. Black Ship can get rid of those problematic cards like Zenmains, and Pappy can reveal those monsters that I need to flip into attack mode, plus lose 600. Just gotta be careful to run into those Rykos. 2 Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. Now, some players usually run at 1 because they think it's inconsistent. In my build, I can actually go into 2. I could possibly even go into 3, but running at 2 is perfectly fine for me. Especially because most of the times I don't even draw into Hysteric Party. Running at 2 is perfectly fine. As long as Phantasmal Dragon has materials, you cannot target it for attacks or effects. Same thing with any other Harpie monster in the field. But there are problematic cards like Dark Hole and Mirror Force that you can run into because they don't target. So you're going to have to be careful out there with Phantasmal Dragon on the field, because if you can't protect it, then what's the point of summoning it? 2 Ice Beast Zero Fine, because of course this is a Winged Beast deck, and there are a lot of cards out there that you would want to negate. So pretty much, it's plain and simple. Negate all face-up effects on your opponent's side of the field, then she gains 300 for each face-up card except for herself. The fact that she combos well with the field spell gives her a plus 500 boost, so it works. Newteddyera Wolf. This is another one of my new techs. Now, I've only seen Newteddyera be played when it usually just tributes itself. But when you read the effect clearly, it says Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast. Now, since most of my Harpies... Oh, wait, hold on a second. All of my Harpies are Winged Beast. So pretty much I can just tribute a Harpie and pop one of your cards. Simple as that. 2 Light Shindori. This card gets to run really problematic cards, especially those set cards like Rykos. sends them right back to the bottom of the deck. And then you'll just detach and target one of your face-up cards on your opponent's side of the field, turn to the top of the deck, or extra deck in this case. I mean, it's 1900, but you can get around it. Maestroke. Now, this is the monster I usually go into with my whole Summoner Monk Hysteric Sign combo, because you're going to need to defend. Because the fact that you do plus off of it doesn't mean the fact that you can't protect your life points. Queen Dragoonjin, already explained, gets your Harpie's Pet Dragon from the graveyard. Cowboy, because of pretty much, of course, he just helps you win games. I mean, if your opponent has 800 or less life points, it's just pretty much GG. And finally, for the side deck, I have one Fossil Dino, which screws over all special summon monsters, including my own. Doesn't matter. Maxi for draw power. Valor for effect negation. Terraforming, because there's chances you don't get your queens and you need to search your field spots as soon as possible. 2 MST, because Prohibition is a thing now. Because if you play against Prohibition, there's a possibility they're going to call Hunting Ground first. So you're going to be careful and try to get rid of that Prohibition as soon as possible. Xyz Encore, which pretty much is a very good card. I believe it's around 15-20 bucks right now. But you gotta be careful around this card too. People have been teching Xyz monsters are one rank lower than what they usually overlay into, so watch out. Failing Spike. This is one of the old techs that I actually still use because of OTKing. So pretty much, the equipped monster gains 900 for each monster in the field with the same name as the equipped monster. Since all Harpie Ladies count as Harpie Lady in the graveyard, it's 900 for each one. Yeah, very strong. Xyz Reborn, because, well, I watched a video about it, and it turns out if you actually use this on a Phantasmal Dragon, they can't attack you, and pretty much you can just attack for 2k next turn. Trap Stun, same explanation. It turned out that if I use Trap Stun while I have Hysteric Party on the field, my Harpies are actually going to survive, so that's something I want to do. You want to protect your Harpies at all costs. Road Decree, because it actually stops those trap heavy decks, although I run traps myself, what could I say? Summon Limit. Now, there are decks out there that summon more than twice per turn. This shuts them down. Pretty much that's the main reason why I tech this. If you summon a lot, I'm going to shut you down. You can only summon twice per turn. I can summon twice per turn, but I can get around it. Rivalry of Warlords. Now, this is against those decks like Constellars, Evil Swarms, and so on, because they have multiple types. Now, a deck like mine, like Harpies, are mostly all winged beasts, so I don't really have any problems with that. Although, the few exceptions like Harpie's Pet Dragon, Thunder King, Summoner Monk, but regardless of the fact, that's the main reason why I use Rivalry. And of course, my last card will be Force Back, because swapping this out with Solmore is a good thing. Only problem is that I can't stop special summons, but I can stop normal flip summons of those Raikos and so on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. If you want to see more Harpie related content, feel free to come over to my channel. I'm sure Teddy's going to have a link in the description. So, thanks guys.